Well, I think it's been unfortunate for quite some time, going back to announcing the tariffs against India before negotiations really had a chance to conclude, for adding the additional tariffs on India, but not on China or Turkey or anyone else for purchasing Russian oil, have been unfortunate. I'd like to see a closer relationship restored, because I think we have a mutual interest in worrying about China's hegemonic aspirations. Well, for example, Russia uses Venezuela as an operating base for its activities in this hemisphere, which it regards as much safer than Cuba, since Cuba is still just 90 miles away from Florida, and Venezuela is more distant. Cuba, which is still very much in Russia's interest, relies on cheap Venezuelan oil to prop up the regime and keep it in power. Russia wants to see that continue as well. That's something unacceptable. China has been trying to get more access to Venezuelan oil. Right now, they buy approximately 80% of Venezuela's oil exports, and would I think consider getting heavily involved themselves in the oil infrastructure, because Venezuela's oil reserves are the largest in the world, larger even than Saudi Arabia. Iran has its biggest embassy in the world in Caracas to help oversee Hezbollah's activities in the Western Hemisphere, to help launder Venezuelan profits from illegal oil sales through Venezuela's financial system, and to keep an eye on Venezuela's uranium reserves, which are among the largest in the world. So this is all very troubling in the context of the Western Hemisphere, destabilizing for other countries and threatening to the United States. Not if the leader is illegitimate, or not if the leader has committed aggression or other acts that endanger the security and stability of the United States, in this case, the Western Hemisphere. Others may claim that they're doing the same thing, but you have to justify that claim on the basis of fact. It's not a basis just because of what's happened in Venezuela for Russia to invade Ukraine. It's a totally different situation. That was an act of unprovoked aggression. It was hardly invited by anyone in Ukraine. And a Chinese attack on Taiwan could not be justified for the same reasons. Well, I think in the case of Maduro, the hope was, the reality should be, that we're trying to eliminate threats within the hemisphere posed by outsiders like Russia, China, and Iran, and in coordination with Cuba, which is another threat that the Maduro regime allowed to use Venezuela as an operating base for. And because the people of Venezuela have been oppressed by this regime for far too long. That's the message we should be sending. I'll be frank to say, I don't think that's what Trump is saying, but I think that is the real reason the removal of Maduro, and now hopefully the rest of the regime, is legitimate.